September, everybody, is that time of month. Everybody, every month I make a video about everything that I watch in that particular month, and I separate them into 3 categories. This video is basically summing up what I recommend watching, what I don't recommend watching, or just, basically talk about everything that I watch in that particular month. If you don't know the premise of these videos, I separate the films that I watch into 3 different categories. The ones that I think you should skip, that is the skip it list, and then there's this middle list. I still don't know what to call it, probably conditioned list, because these films, I think you either watch it or you don't. It's not that good, it's not that bad. And of course the must watch list in the end, where I talk about the movies that you should watch and must watch in that month. So let's just jump into it. Skip it list, everybody. I'm trying to make these videos a little bit shorter, more compacted. I think that's the word. So that it's easier to consume. Let's begin with Ken. I didn't like this movie. I thought it was boring. Producer from Stranger Things and Arrival. It has nothing to do with Stranger Things or Arrival, nor it was as good as either of them. It basically tells a story about this young boy who discovered this alien weaponry thing that he carries with him, and just at the same time his brother got out of jail and they're on the run. That's it. And nothing really happens in this film. The main character or protagonist in this film is so unlikable. I can't relate to them. I can't identify with them. I don't even like them. So when shits are happening, I don't give a shit. I would say this: the best thing about this film is probably the special effects in the last 30 minutes or so, because the last 30 minutes is all action, all special effects. There's this one scene, it's really CGI heavy, and I thought they executed pretty nicely. And everything, the story wise, the characters, the performances, bland, boring, don't watch it. Next up we have Peppermint. Why is it called Peppermint? I don't know. This is the female version of Death Wish, and I didn't like Death Wish. I thought it was boring, and Peppermint is exactly that, but female version. What's up with these days with using social media, YouTube clips, newsreel, podcast highlights to push the story forward? What's up with that? It's so lazy. It's a gimmick. It's a plot device almost to give exposition to the audience. It's so unnecessary. I would say that Jennifer Garner really did the best she could, and she really work out for this role, and she absolutely nailed it. Everything else, pretty bland revenge, typical traditional revenge story movie. Next up we have White Boy Rick. It's a biographical film that tells about White Boy Rick, who was an informant and then turns into a drug dealer later, where it's a real story. White Boy Rick is really forgettable. I just watched the video I made on this movie, and then it reminds me of the biggest problem I have with this film. It's really the structure, the dramatic structure of the film. It doesn't belong in this feature film format screenplay of 120 pages. It doesn't belong there. It's missing so many things, so many story to tell, so many plot points, so many elements to be a feature. I think this film might have been better if it was a book, if it was maybe a documentary. That would have been pretty interesting. It doesn't fit the dramatic structure and the traditional way of storytelling. It just overall feels really boring. In this film, nothing really happens. Next up, we have The House with the Clock in Its Wall, directed by Eli Roth, and earlier this year he directed Death Wish, which I did not like. Like I said, I didn't like this film either. I thought for a film like this, that the magic is the thing that grabs people in. Magic is in the forefront. The magic is what everybody is looking at. It's the fantasy everybody wants, and there's no magic in this film. It just feels so boring. I would say this: everything in the skip it list in September are kind of boring, because nothing in these films really happened. The plot is pretty self-explanatory. It's a house with a clock in its wall. That is spooky. Yes, it's October, spooky month. spooky month, everybody. The child performance I did not like. Kate Blanchett and Jack Black, I thought they were fine. There are a couple of backstory in this film which I thought was pretty interesting, but the execution really just wore me out. They have no idea how to spit those out. They just have characters sit down and tell story to the audience, and that's how they decide to tell story. I might as well just read a book or some shit like that. Okay, we're almost done with this list. Next one is Night School. I just watched yesterday or the day before that. I don't really remember. Night School tells a story about Teddy, who's a salesman, really successful salesman, goes back to night school to get his GED for various reasons, and we just go from there. It stars Kevin Hart, produced by Kevin Hart, written by Kevin Hart. He took a part of writing credit. There's nothing really special in this film. Once you see the trailer, you know exactly what this thing is Kevin Hart being Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish being Tiffany Haddish, and when they clash against each other, we just see a bunch of people doing dumb shit and say dumb shit. And that's supposed to be funny, right? This film, I thought one or two jokes actually landed and I actually laughed at. 99% of the jokes in this film didn't land for me. I didn't think this movie is funny. Kevin Hart, a lot of people saying that he has been doing the same shit over and over again. I don't really care. I get where the criticism are coming from. I like Kevin Hart, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. The last one in this list, I absolutely hate to put this movie in this list, but I guess I kind of have to, is The Nun. As you may expect it, I am a fan of James Wan. I love the Conjuring series. The Conjuring universe is probably my favorite horror universe ever, and it's incredible what James Wan is doing with this franchise, with this cinematic universe. The Nun is probably the second least favorite of mine in the entire franchise. But then the best thing about The Nun is the marketing and the ads. They're so scary. YouTube pulled it off of the website because it's so scary. It's scaring people to death. And trailer looks fine, but the actual film is another thing. It's so predictable. Every single scene, every single scare in this film are jump scare, and you can see those scares a mile away. When the camera pans left, when the camera pans back, what do you think is gonna happen? Something that it used to be there is not there anymore, or there used to be nothing there, and then when we pan back, there's something there with a loud noise in the background. The Nun is filled with those, and the cinematography, not a fan. Really claustrophobic. I don't think the filmmakers are going for that because it doesn't fit with the story and the element in the story. So The Nun is a disappointment. However, I still do I kind of give this movie a pass because I love The Conjuring so much. Intermission, ding ding ding, intermission. That's right, we have intermission in this show. This is a proper show now. It's not just a video. No. It's an intermission. And in this intermission, I'm going to be talking about, I just want to kind of like an honorable mention. I watched Curated, directed by Gillian Jacobs. I'm a fan, big fan. My favorite show of all time, probably. Community. Gillian Jacobs and Danny Pudi came back and collaborated again. Gillian Jacobs this time directed this short film, which is about 10 minutes long. It's on YouTube. Go look it up. It's called Curated. It's really interesting what the writers and Gillian Jacobs took with this film. They made a subject that is supposed to be presented in maybe like a family dinner or just like a family drama where people are talking to each other. They turned that into a horror, a thriller almost type film, and I thought that part is really interesting. But I have to get this clear, I am biased here. I am a big fan of Gillian Jacobs and Danny Pudi, so that's it. Intermission over, everybody. Did you go to the bathroom? Because we're gonna go for more. So good. Here comes the condition list. This list, as I was saying, there's certain elements, there's certain condition needs to be fulfilled for you to like or dislike these type of films, and you either watch it or you don't. The first one being The Little Stranger. I did not like this film. Let's just get that out of the way. I think I did not like this film probably mainly because of the marketing. I stopped watching trailers afterwards, but this film I just happened to watch this trailer before I stopped watching trailers, and the trailers in this film, if you have seen it, is insanely misleading. I made a whole 10-minute video just talking about how misleading the trailer is. I'll leave a card over there or whatever if you want to check it out. It's a pretty bad video. The Little Stranger was marketed as this haunted house horror movie, really intense, and then what I got is a family drama. And walking in with that horror idea in mind, I was waiting for anything to happen. In the first hour of this film, I was bored out of my mind because nothing happens. And then I realized, oh, I just got cucked because this film is not about horror, it's a family drama. And by that point, it's already too late. I can't really look back now. It's really forgettable, but I would say to sum it up is basically tells a story about a doctor who goes back to his hometown, and from there he meets with some friends and they discover something in the past with family dramas and whatnot. I think that's the best way to put it. I don't really remember. I would say go watch it for how this film was shot. I would say the cinematography was pretty interesting. That's it. Next up, we have The Wife. When we have a movie that is called The Wife, is pretty much Oscar baity, because The Wife, who wants to go watch a movie in a theater called The Wife? I thought this film was fine. I thought it was pretty interesting. The last 20 minutes of the film is the most interesting part, though, because the last act, if there is an act, is basically people talking to each other with dialogues. It's just pure dialogue, and there with back and forth banter between characters. That is where all the drama, all the story shines. The performance from Glenn Close, fantastic. Go watch it for the performance. Go watch it for the theme of this movie. The theme of this movie is kind of relevant to the society we're living today, and I think it's a really powerful theme. You should go watch it for that. The last 30 minutes, hella good. Okay, next one, I put The Predator. A lot of people, why have you put The Predator? It's so shit. Why would you? I thought it was okay. I don't know why I put it here. I guess it's from the pure experience standpoint, and I think the last act of the movie is the movie I wanted to watch. It's just dumb, fun, action, and gore. That's what I wanted to watch. But the plot and the story of this film is pretty bad. It's extremely bad. It offended a lot of Predator fan. I'm not a Predator fan, but like I completely understand why they're mad. And the last scene of this movie, even though I'm not a Predator fan, it kind of pissed me off. Moving on, we have Assassination Nation. This film actually surprised me. I wasn't really expecting this. The best thing about the film, cinematography. Cinematography is fantastic. There's this one take shot that lasted for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, even though it's stitched together with different takes to make it a one shot, but it flows seamlessly. It's a great way of building suspense. This film did that fantastically. The lighting is great. The performances was okay. The plot is really controversial, but overall, you watch this movie for the dumb fun it is. You watch this movie for the blood and gore. This film delivers that, and that's why it's here. Next up, we have Lizzie. I actually like this film. It has problems, definitely. The film is kind of flat. The characters are kind of flat. The drama is kind of flat. But I would say the performances from each and one of the cast really saved this movie. Kristen Stewart, for all of y'all who say that she's not a good actor, go watch this movie. She's great. Lizzie tells a story about Lizzie, who's a woman who has this really troublesome father, and one day their house hired this servant called Bridget, and from there they discover some really interesting relationship, and it tells how that relationship can impact someone's decision or someone's mind or someone's life. It's interesting in that aspect. It's interesting to see some elements, some ideas, some theme the filmmakers put out on the big screen, and really have these type of ideas fighting against each other. Lizzie caught me off guard, and I liked it for it. Go watch it. Last one on this list is Smallfoot. Smallfoot, you know exactly what this movie is, watching the trailer or whatever. It's exactly the film you take your kids with you to go see it, and that's it. It's just that fun. And I would say the plot of this film is really repetitive. You've seen it 1,000 times already. Sausage Party is exactly the same as Sausage Party. It's just we have Sasquatch instead of sausages, and PG, and make it cleaner for kids to watch it. That's Smallfoot for you. Intermission, everybody. Ding ding ding. The second intermission. That's right. Apparently this video is so long that it needs 2 intermission. Hateful Eight, 2001. Godfather Part 2. Get out. 1 intermission, not enough. We have 2 intermission on the YepitsHoward channel, everybody. In this intermission, we're gonna be talking about Mandy. I actually watched this movie. I didn't make a video on it because I don't know what to say about the film. It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know what to think of it. I want to rewatch it. In the beginning, I said, okay, I'm gonna rewatch this before I make my video, and then I just didn't have any time to rewatch Mandy. But from a guy who watched this movie only once, I thought it was fun. This movie was actually really good. Nicolas Cage was fantastic. There's this one bathroom scene. He delivers, man. If you like Nicolas Cage, Nicolas, he delivers. Go watch the bathroom scene. Cinematography is great. A lot of people say that this film dragged. I didn't really feel that. It might just emerge second time viewing, probably in the future. But the last act of this movie is action packed, is gory. Go watch the trailer. I haven't seen any trailer. I just thought, okay, Nicolas Cage in it, it must be good, so I go watch it. Great theater experience, really nice sound effects, really nice score. Mandy is a revenge tale. That's it. You don't need anything else. Okay. Must watch list. These are the films that I really do recommend. You should watch these movies in September. If there's any films that you should watch in September, are these movies. First of all, I just want to say this. American Animals. This film came out a couple of months ago. I didn't catch it, but I believe in September I did. It feels so long ago, but American Animal tells a story. It's a biographical film. It tells a true story about a group of friends who's trying to steal this artwork and so that they can sell it and make a lot of money. This film is fantastic. It's such a big surprise. I thought it was really interesting what the filmmakers did. I'm not going to spoil how the filmmakers told the story, but I would say this. It's so cool to see filmmakers blend 2 types of storytelling, 2 types of filmmaking together and make it a one unique thing. American Animals is great at that. Performances, fantastic. Peter Evans, Evan Peters, whatever. When you have first name and last name are both first name, we reserve the right to switch it. If it's Evan Peters or Peter Evans, I never understand that. I don't. You know what? Go watch it for the performances. The editing of this film is seamless. It has a way of transitioning scene. The dialogue is great. Just American Animals, man. It's kind of like you have to watch this movie in 2018. This is the film that everybody is going to be talking about by the end of the year, saying that, oh, you missed this movie, underrated movie, overlooked movie. American Animal, go watch it. Next up, Juliet Naked. If you watch my videos, you know how much I love this movie. There are problems in it. I don't give a shit. I love this movie for what it is. It's so refreshing. It's so cute. Rose Byrne's fan of hers. Ethan Hawke plays this character that is probably the most adorable character or role he has ever taken in his entire career. This film tells a story about Rose Byrne's character finding out this missing artist who has been gone for years, and now they have this secret pen pal relationship where they just shoot emails to each other and discuss about what their life is gonna be, and we just go from there. It's so cute, and I don't think it's for everyone though. But I really like this film. Go check it out. Next one, we have Hearts Beat Loud. This film also came out a couple of months ago. I didn't catch it, but I watched it in September. It came out at Sundance. It's a really refreshing little movie. I call it a little movie because it's 90 minutes. It's that type of hipster movie that doesn't need anything else to make it better. Hearts Beat Loud is that. Soundtrack, I thought it was okay. There are a couple of songs that are her baggage. I just didn't really feel it, but there are songs that I really liked. Shut Your Eyes, probably my favorite from the entire film. This film tells a story about this hipster dad who's sending his daughter away for college. His daughter wants to be a doctor, but he wants her to be like a musician because she's so damn good at it and she's so damn talented at it. but she doesn't want to. So we have this dynamic going on throughout the entire film. It has a really good theme. Really good theme. I really love the theme of this film. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's really subtle. But there's this one scene where two characters are talking to each other, and that scene just reveals the theme of the film. Hearts Be Loud is great. Okay, the last one on the must-watch list is not the best. This time I didn't rank it, but like it just happens to be the last one I talk about, so don't take it like, oh my god, this is the best film of September. A Simple Favor. I like this movie. A lot of people didn't because of the tone this film takes. It has dark comedy, it has comedy. It's so weird. Is it a thriller? Is it a horror? Is it like a comedy? No one knows. People dislike this movie for that. I liked it. I thought this film was really good. I love the direction of this film. It just feels so different, and the conversation, the dialogue written in this film was great. Was really collateral. I made a video about this. I'll leave a card in this. I don't know. I'll leave a card. Go check that video out. I talked about how the conversation and the dialogue in this film was so collateral, and how they transition in it in a way from one scene to the next scene. Anna Kendrick is great. Blake Lively is fantastic as this arrogant, almost piece of trash character. What this movie is about is just a missing person mystery. I don't have to say anything more than that. It's just a good missing person mystery with a lot of twists and turns. There's so many things happening in this film. I did not see it coming. The ending, though, it's something that I was kind of iffy about. I'm not a big fan of the ending. I disagree with the ending. There are a couple of choices the filmmakers made in the film that I disagree with, but overall the journey from the beginning to the second plot point, according to Sid Field, it's really interesting. The journey is riveting, kept me at the edge of my seat, kept me guessing to the end, and that's what a good missing person mystery is supposed to do. That's it, everybody. That's it. That's almost everything I watched in this month, and it's been a okay month, I would say. It's nothing really special. I'm gonna be watching Venom tonight, so the review or the video is probably gonna come out tonight or probably tomorrow. We'll see what happens. What movies did you watch in September that you recommend me watching that I did not watch or just missed or whatever? Tell me in the comments. Do you agree with my arrangements? Tell me in the comments as well. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share this video with your grandparents and everyone you know. Subscribe so that you can see my videos. You subscribe so that you can see more of my videos. So that's why you subscribe, right? And for all of your fine nipple dippers out there, I'll see you guys next month with another video summing up October. I do it monthly. Hey man, it's been fast, man. It's already October. You have the right to do whatever you want. Nothing is able to be used against you by anyone, but I'll really like it if you subscribe, please and thank you.